So today I really want to talk about it's not always been a passion of mine, but for a long time it's been a passion of mine just to change the education system. I know it sounds like this broad thing. Um and I have absolutely no clue how to do it, but I guess a start is just like bringing awareness and making people think, like our about our education system. Um, I like I've I've always, for the most part, excelled. I'm in no way trying to brag about myself when I say this, but like I was always at the top, and I kind of like want to get into just the way our education is, and just my own experience and ways that I wish that the education system would be changed. I honestly think if we made some changes to the way we teach and to the way we help children grow, like I think it could have major like improvements to our society. Anyway, um so I always, in any subject that you like that I had in school, like I always tried very hard. I always studied very hard, and a lot of my time was devoted to studying. And I guess my logic for wanting to excel and be the best, like it was like, okay, if I get these good grades, then I'm gonna excel and I'm gonna succeed and get whatever job it is that I want. I had literally no clue what kind of job I was gonna get, but I was just like, you know what, if I excel in these classes, it will lead to success. And to be honest, here I am. And um I have a lot of great qualities about myself. I have a lot of gifts, but here I am, like I don't recently quit a job, the job before I got fired from, and it was like literally due to this last the when I got fired from, it was literally due to the fact that I went to a hospital, and then for a manic episode, and I got replaced. um anyway, what I'm really trying to oh so what I'm trying to say is that, just because like I got a 3.7 at Pepperdine University, I was ranked number 8 out of like 900 students at my high school, Cardozo. And I'm clearly not stupid. Yet here I am not being able to function function in society. Um and yeah, I think we're teaching all these kids stuff, and it's almost like all that stuff we learned is irrelevant to real life. Maybe not everything, but a lot of the stuff you learned in school growing up, you're like, why the fuck do I need this in my life? I mean, why the fuck do you need math when you can't even get a job that gives you money? Like that has to do with numbers. And it's just yeah, like a lot of this stuff, like sometimes I wonder, like, why don't we still have home ec, teaching like people to be responsible, to do certain things around the house, or like to be really like self-efficient. And um like in terms of psychology, I'm just thinking like, why aren't we teaching kids at a young age, like, about stress and coping with emotions and feelings? Because even at a young age, I mean, we know that, like, in the developmental stages, like, it's really crucial to how you are in becoming who you are. And yeah, if I was like able to just I'm getting better at it, but dealing with like emotional distress, from just the way I am as a person and how I'm like interacting with the people in my life. So I was thinking like, oh, that'd be so cool if like you can incorporate like psychology when kids are young. I think they would understand it, or try to help them understand it so that they'll be prepared more in life. Um Also, um just wanted to talk about like education and creativity. So it was interesting because I actually called the supervisor for NAMI left me that message, and I called her back, and I kind of told her, I was like, I had bipolar disorder. She's like, wow, a lot of people are being diagnosed with that lately. I was like, that's pretty interesting, and I think it's really interesting because uh, I think it has to do with it obviously has to do with society, and I think it has to do with their education system too. Like, people think, like, I heard that there were, like, funds are, like, the first thing to go when funds are going low is the arts, right? So, um, so the first thing to go is the arts, like, and it's literally basically saying arts are the least important in education. I guess that's what you're saying if you cut out the arts first. And um I honestly believe there's a link between education, creativity, and bipolar disorder. So they say, like, people with bipolar disorder are more creative. And what I've been thinking lately, someone also told me, like, yeah, I think that bipolar disorder has a lot to do with self-expression and the communication and the arts. And I think when we're younger, we have like some like dance and stuff. We incorporate some of the creative stuff into their dance, painting, arts and crafts, and maybe by third or fourth grade, like, it stops. Not completely, but it stops. Like, for me, I was looking at old videos of myself, and like when I was younger, before like age 10 or whatever, all I loved to do was dance. Like, I would just always dance, and I would sing, and I'm like, holy crap, like, I loved dancing when I was little. And like, for so many years, maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 8 years, because I took dance classes and then I quit. And then I took art classes when I was younger too, and I quit, and I enjoyed those things, and I was good at those things. Yet I quit because I thought school was more important. I thought like education and which school is important, but like school is more important, and my classes were more important than the arts. And so for so many years, I literally stopped dancing. I didn't dance at all. I also got very self-conscious about myself. That too. Um, my mom had told me that I didn't want to, like, go on stage. Like, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I want to take these dance classes, but I don't really want to go on stage and perform, you know? And yeah, so my life got devoted to school, and um when I had this disorder, it's a really weird thing. Like, people always say that, like, your disorder doesn't define who you are, and it's a part of you, but it's a part of you. And honestly, I feel like my disorder has been almost like guiding me to the person that I'm naturally supposed to be. Like, I got back into art and dancing and singing and photography and writing poems, and and I wasn't doing that for a very long time. I think I lost my identity in like volleyball and school and everything, and lost who I was. And actually, this disorder with my manic episodes and my depressive episodes, like, I'm learning more so who I am as a person, because I never really got to discover that. And I think like it's just like a thought. It's I guess a hypothesis. Like, I wonder what would happen if we put more creative tasks back into the education system. And maybe there are some schools that do that, but mine didn't really do that. Once I got to middle school, it was like maybe I had 1 or 2 years of art, and then same in high school, like a year in high school. And but the thing is, I was just doing it because it was school, not because like I was doing it just for the love of it. Sorry, I got distracted. so I just think that, like, if we I did explain myself. Like, yeah, so I just feel like if we brought the arts, like, maybe the fact that where, like, when you're manic, you're very, like, impulsive, and like things need to come out, and like you have so much energy, and you, like, when I was manic, like, I was just like dancing and singing everywhere. um and it's like, probably most people are like, what the fuck is she doing? But honestly, like, looking back, I realize it's because I was repressing those things, repressing those natural things about me that I haven't done in so long. And I just like, I almost like forgot about it. And and the fact that you're like spewing things out, like you keep talking so fast and you have all these thoughts, I feel like it's because you kind of, like, it builds up, like you've been repressing these things that you've wanted to say, or these things that you've thought that were just like ridiculous, so you didn't say them, or like just not like acting a certain way because of what other people might think of you, so you just don't do it. And then it leads to you have some sort of stressor, and then boom, it all comes out. Which is why I'm actually trying to be more self-expressive, and more, more of who I believe that I am, and who I naturally am. And I think it's been helpful. So I really feel if we could bring the arts, like, I know this video may not reach hundreds or millions or thousands, but imagine. But anyway, I think self-expression and the arts is super important, and just rediscovering it, like, I know some people like hate their disorder, but rediscovering my love for art, like through this journey and this path that I've had, I don't regret it. I've had a lot of pain and sorrow and hurt and suffering, but I think it's molding me into the person that I want to be and that I like to be, and I hope that this video really encourages someone to think about altering and changing our education system. I also hope that even if education isn't doing the job, that parents can, I bet a lot of parents do this, just parents really encouraging children just to explore different kinds of art and just a way to express themselves and be creative. And yeah, I think that is all I want to talk about, and I hope that you have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you are, and don't be afraid of art either. Every time I say that I paint or I do art, most people's answers are, "Oh, I suck at art. Oh, I can only draw stick figures." That's the usual answer, actually. And I just wanted you to know that it's like art is a very different thing. I feel like our education system, where you learn that there's a right or wrong answer, it's either right or it's either wrong, and there's no like in between or some kind of like out there answer that other people don't come up with. But yeah, I just hope my hope is that you engage in more art, and that the art education system changes. I mean, I wish this video, like, I could post this video and be like, boop, education system changed. But unfortunately, life that doesn't work that way. So have a beautiful night, and I don't think I even said my name in the beginning. Anyway, it's Jess, and Artie Jess, and if your heart desires, subscribe to my channel. If not, that's fine. Have a good night.